welcome back to Royalty. Before we get started, we'd like to remind you all to like, subscribe, and comment. We're your hosts. I'm Tiffany.
And I am Big D.
And I'm Hannah, and here at the Royalty, we are going to break down all your favorite reality shows that are ours as well. So you don't have to. Make sure you sit back, grab a mug, relax, and sip your tea along with us. See, I have a mug today, guys. I'm so proud of myself.
Oh, yay! Mug.
I have a mug too. It says, I have to day drink to deal with you too.
Send me one of those.
Oh, how are you, my loves? We're back again, and I miss you, of course, as always. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well. How are you? What have you been up to?
You know what? I am been just busy at work, but tonight I am going to go see Mistress on RuPaul's Drag Race, who just made the top 5. So I'm really excited to see her tonight. And how about you, Hannah?
I've been doing okay. Let's see, what have I been up to? Really just doing a whole lot of nothing. But I've been binging Real Housewives of New Jersey. That's become my new favorite comfort show. So, yeah, that's all that's going on with me. What about you, Tiff?
I was binge watching Insecure while I was getting my hair braided, and I had never watched Insecure. And okay, there's a lot of intimacy in this show, but there's some really reality, real moments in the show. I'm like, okay, I understand, girls. I'm put all the girls' business out there, but I understand.
Yeah, Issa Rae's super talented.
Now, ladies, yes. I just want to say, let's get those brains moving, the flow going. We all got our pink on today, and it is time.
How cute is that?
I know, and you know it's that time again for Big D's Trivia.
The most stressful part of my week. Oh my God.
All right. Once again, remember, one answer.
Okay.
Do not talk over each other. Okay?
Okay.
My first question, and it's going to be a little bit of a mixture of whatever the hell I wanted to. Okay? So, first question, starting with Hannah. Can you name the Earth's 7 continents?
Yes. Antarctica, Australia, Asia, Africa, North America, South America, and Europe.
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct.
Yay.
Tiffany.
Yes.
In which U.S. state is the Death Valley?
Well, Huron Valley is in California. Silicon Valley is in California. Colorado?
I am so sorry, Tiffany, but that answer is incorrect, and you were so close. The answer was California.
Ooh.
Hannah, next questions. Doesn't work that way with this trivia. Hannah, which part of your body that never stops growing?
Your skin? Your nails?
I am sorry, that is incorrect. It is your ears, and you want to be a doctor. Interesting. All right. Tiffany, next question. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
3.
Oh, well, you have a magical mouth, but that is incorrect. The answer is 364.
Oh.
Last question for Hannah. What was Walt Disney afraid of?
Death. No.
I'm sorry, you have one answer.
Okay. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Death.
Please follow the rules.
Okay, fine. Body decay.
I'm sorry. Oh. That dark mind of yours. Unfortunately, no. Walt Disney, he was scared of...
He was scared of mice?
He was scared of mice. Thank you so much, Tiffany Mitchell. Tiffany,
yeah.
How much percentage of the earth is covered by water?
90%.
So close, but it was actually 71%. And that is Big D's Trivia, everyone!
Okay, we got, 2 answers right between the two of us? Maybe 3?
I said 71%.
That's what you think you said. Just like Hannah thought she said, mice. Anyway.
No,
so,
I stand by body decay.
In other news, guys, what's been going on with BBCan?
Well, I guess let's just get into it. So, for those who don't know, Santina ended up winning HOH. She was the first HOH of the season. And it seemed like she was very close with Zach, Ty, and then Roberto to some extent. It kind of seems like they have a flirtmance going on.
Who again?
Roberto. Listen, I see it now.
Roberto.
I see it now.
Yeah, see, look.
I'm on board.
Roberto.
Oh, dear.
He's daddy, Roberto.
Big D's only contribution.
Claudia better keep his clothes off her back.
Oh. We'll get into that too.
Or she better keep her clothes off so he can get in that back,
But I thought you want Roberto.
I do want Roberto, Just wait for him to come and speak my language. ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien, bude. Je ne sais quoi
Oh my god, I can't with you, Big D. Big D's only contribution to BBCan discussions. He kills me.
How he feels about Roberto.
Yes.
He mixed Spanish and French together. He said, "Si, mon frère, on je
ne sais quoi.
Uno, dos.
Je ne sais quoi. Vous couchez comme le soir? They're the same language.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
C'est quoi? Please keep going. I'm so sorry.
We're gonna comment ça va? Move on. I'm just kidding. Okay, but Santina won the HOH. She seems to be very close with Zach, Ty, and Roberto. Roberto and her kind of have a flirtmance going on. I'm curious if those three guys are going to protect her moving forward or if they just latched onto her because she happened to win the first HOH. This may sound mean, but I kind of hope that Santina feels dumb in the coming weeks because JM, the person who ended up leaving, helped Santina win that first part of the HOH and was like, Santina, if you want HOH, you can have HOH. JM could have probably won that competition. But Santina won, and JM was like, listen, if I win, you're totally good in my book. And Santina looked at him dead in the face, straight in the eye, and said, JM, if I win, you're also good. You have nothing to worry about. And I get that you can bounce checks in the Big Brother house, but that early in the game, JM was not coming after you. JM said he was going after the strong men in the house, and that doesn't include you. But Santina was very much like, well, those are the people I want to work with. And, he's coming after my alliance, so he has to go. And Zach very much got in her ear. And I felt like she was fully just submitting to Zach and Ty and letting them run her HOH. And I've never quite seen anything like it. She didn't even pretend that it was her HOH. She was just like, yeah, I'm going to listen to what Zach and Ty want me to do.
And Zach is so adamant. He's not trying to be diplomatic about how he approaches his desires for what he wants in this game. It's like if somebody is consistently pushing you to make a certain move, you have to sit back and ask yourself, is this in the benefit of me or is this in the benefit of them? And he's so adamant on what he wants. He's not even trying to consider what she may want. He'll just tell her no, that doesn't make sense. And then he told her in her HOH, I'm just trying to teach you how to play the game. Not that I need to teach you how to play, but and it's given I want him and her to go home.
Same here. Because she's someone who I had really high hopes for. She was very free-spirited. She seems like she's been independent from a young age. So I thought she would have that. I thought she would possess a certain level of conviction and security in her own thoughts and decisions. And she was wearing a whole shirt that said dump him. So I was like, okay, she's going to be for the girls. Only for her to be like, no, I want to work with people who have the same mentality as me. No, those people that you want to work with are very much we're for the guys, That doesn't include you.
So she sounds like a picky girl Yes. Yeah. Pick me. Everyone pick me.
Like, I'm one of the guys.
Oh my God, guys. Like, I'm for the guys. Like, I don't like
the guys.
Yeah, I don't like a pick me type of person. You know, it doesn't work well and it doesn't come off well. But maybe, like you say, Hannah, maybe when if she makes it far, if she, gets messed over or whatever, or something happened, maybe something will kick her in her butt and she'll be like, you know what, let me stop doing everybody's work. But we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I do have a question for you guys, because Dan is the new HOH for like this upcoming week of episodes. And Dan was just on the block as the pawn last week. And it doesn't seem like he's very well socially connected. So he's kind of a wild card to me. I have no idea who he's going to put on the block, who his target could be. Is he just going to let Zach run his HOH? What do you think, Tiff?
Are they still doing, because I missed the HOH comp, are they still doing loser goes on the block? We're doing, so that was just the first week. So this week it's just going to be two, I don't know. I probably would get the game started. I'll always come ready to play, especially if it's BB. I walk in the door ready to play. You guys had me on the block, and I say you guys, and maybe I should just say you all, because you all put me on the block as a pawn. I know Santina didn't think of that on her own because she hasn't seemed to make any decisions fully on her own. So I put Santina and Zach on the block, and I let them figure it out. FIO, bitch. Santina. For me, this is an easy thought. You put me on the block. There's not really a lot of people for me to target right now. So I felt like I was being targeted, even though I didn't get eliminated. I also the veto wasn't used to save me. So I was still sitting on the block come eviction day. I feel that this is fair. It was fair for you. It's fair for me. It was good for the goose. It's good for the gander. Zach, I see you being Santina's closest ally. I feel that you'd help her come off the block. And I'd say I'd give Kylan's speech that he gave when it was me and you.
Yeah.
And what was that speech? Could you please reenact it? I would love to hear it.
No, we are not.
And
we're not
I'm not saying that. Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, I'd put him on next to her because that's your closest ally, and I feel like I'd rather you work to save yourself than work to save Santina.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair.
I think it create a lot of uproar in the house because Zach can't go and try to run Santina. He's going to be so focused on saving himself at that point. Then we'll see Frenchie. Then we'll see Zach come out.
Yes, and then also like you're not directly targeting the guys. But yeah. I don't know how strong or how much of an independent thinker Dan is. So if he allows Zach to get in his ear, then I could also see him going the easy route of just throwing up like Anika and Vanessa.
I would hope that Zach couldn't get in his ear because, Dan, how do you think you ended up on the block in the first place?
Again, those live feeds are very crucial to us understanding the dynamics of the house.
Context,
because from the episodes, it just kind of seems like Dan's there for vibes and he's not ready to have any alliances and he hasn't been having very many game-related conversations. But also...
What do you mean?
Oh, sorry. Huh?
He's not ready to have any alliances.
Yeah, he said in Thursday's episode, he was like, yeah, I think it's just too early for alliances. Like, I'm not really trying to do that. But again, if these players had cam talks, that could be telling a different story. Instead, we're just seeing their conversations with other people, and they could be lying to those other people. So it's kind of hard to piece together the puzzle.
Long as nobody is coming for Queen Kuzi, I don't care.
I feel like Dan is not going after Kuzi. I haven't heard anyone even mention Kuzi. Kuzi just seems like she's chilling in the house.
Coasting.
Kuzi is coasting. It seems like on one hand you have Santina, Roberto, Jonathan, Zach, and Ty. So you have like the guys plus Santina. Then you have like that trio of girls. You have Claudia, Shania, Renee. By the way, I like them a lot more than I expected to. And then you kind of have like the floaters or the coasters in the middle. You have Anika, Vanessa, Kuzi, Daniel, Zan, and Hope.
I like Anika. Anika seems to be gaming. I like that she's opening up and kind of trying to play the game a little bit.
Yeah.
She seems a little closed off, but she's not dumb. She's not sitting back and just getting played. So I like that she went and talked to Santina about going on the block.
But
I want to see what she ends up doing.
Like you said, Tiff, I think she's savvy. I like the fact that her going on the block maybe like ignited that fire under her, but she needs to stop saying names, because she was telling everyone like, okay, so first JM needs to go, then Claudia needs to go, then this person, to everyone who would listen. So yeah, she needs to not do that. But as long as she, stops being so specific and so pushy, then I feel like she's getting the hang of this game.
I want to ask you, what do you think about Ty getting upset with Claudia and not talking to her when she was trying to ask him what was he going to do with Vito, and he was just giving her such a cold shoulder, and I was trying to figure out what it was about, and it was about that she had on Roberto's sweatshirt.
He just seems immature. And he doesn't know how to
get out your feelings.
And he doesn't know how to communicate. And for him to be like, I'm honestly proud of myself because this is more than, or this is better what I would have done in the real world, or I'm giving you more than I would give anyone else out there. What? Anyway, I want him to leave too. I want Ty to leave. I want Zach to leave. Yeah. I want Santina to leave. But then,
in that order.
Yeah. Well, maybe kick out Zach first, then Ty, then Santina, and then we have a show. But also, you kind of need a villain. You kind of need someone that you're rooting against.
Okay, so, thank you so much, Hannah and Tiffany, for that lovely update of BBCan. I'm trying my best to keep up, but it's very difficult with the Canadians. But, all that matters is Roberto. So, in other news, have you guys been keeping up with Survivor 44?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Have you been?
Mm-hmm. I have. Now, let me give my first thought. Let's first say, all together, that we love Claire.
We do.
Okay. We love Claire.
And I am very upset of how I love Claire as a person too. But I will say this. Tiffany Mitchell, which it's very hard for me to say, was right last week.
Oh.
And it's very hard. I won't say it again, but Tiffany said it correctly. That Claire should have got her ass in that game and played like she should have. And that is my thoughts so far. What is your thoughts, Tiffany? What do you think?
Hannah?
Yeah. I get where Claire was coming from. She probably thought, okay, well, if I am the least valuable member of this team in terms of these comps that we're required to compete in, then let me sit out, let me take one for the team so our team has a higher chance of winning. However, by doing that, you're letting them know that you perceive yourself to be the least valuable member of the team, which kind of cosigns and allows them to think of you as the most disposable if you guys ever go to tribal. So, sit out for the first week, whatever, but at least get in there during the second week. And if you want to sit out 2 weeks in a row, then she could have at least gotten in there on this challenge, to really to have some form of currency in the event that Soka, found themselves at tribal, and they did. So yeah, poor move on her part. I don't know what exactly caused them to pivot from going after the showmance to landing on Claire.
Hannah, it's right there in front of you, I think.
Tribe strength.
Yeah, it's just like if I played, it's just like we're playing Big Brother. If no one's doing anything within, I'm going to use the cookout. If no one's doing anything in the cookout, as of they're not strategizing, they're not doing nothing, they're not pulling anything, they're not trying to do anything, that member, you would feel like you're not doing anything. You got to go.
That's not what happened.
It is what it is. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about because I did enough work. So don't you start, because if you want to go there, I'm ready for your asses today, both of you. Okay? Don't think y'all going to get me again. Okay? But I will say that she should have played in that game. Okay? And unfortunately, when you look at the tribe as a whole, who's not been pulling weight? And this is a interesting type of game because we're out here in motherfucking nature. Okay, so there needs to be building happening. There's a lot of stuff happening. If I'm sweating and your ass ain't sweating after these challenges, you sitting up here looking pretty as she is, because she is gorgeous as hell, and you up here just talking and entertaining my ass, I need you to do some work, because this is the third challenge, and now we have lost, so now I'm looking at you.
It definitely comes off as playing a scared game. I can see where you want to reason with her and understand how she felt like they may have been stronger players than her. How do you even know? You played in one immunity challenge. You haven't even given yourself time to go out there and see how you perform under pressure. Everyone takes their time to apply, to go on these shows, to play the game. How is it you get the opportunity to play the game and you don't play the game? I could not imagine going on Big Brother. That's my dream, my game to play, and I sit out of every HOH. It makes no sense. How do you even know what you have to give? How do we know? How can you say, I was thinking that I don't want to hold my tribe back, they have greater strengths? How do you know? Everybody is out here thinking, I'm at home thinking I'm a strategist, I'm a puzzle solver, I'm a mathematician, I'm a social bee, I'm this. But when you take me out there and you put me in a group of other people, I really don't know what I'm made of until I am with other people who are made of the same thing. And we get out there and compete. That's why it is a competition, so we can see what we're made of. So when I lose, I am looking at the person who has contributed the very least. I'm either looking at my biggest threat, my biggest competition, or I'm looking at the person who has not even helped us to get to where we are. I love Claire as a person, as a player. I do not love her game. I do not love her game at all.
But from what I understand, in this new era, tribe strength has become a lot more important because they no longer do tribe swaps. And apparently since they stopped doing tribe swaps, I forget what the exact percentage is, but it's definitely over 90, where the first person voted out of a tribe will be a woman, because women are typically seen as less valuable to the tribe's overall strength. So
okay.
I get.
So doesn't that add to why you would get out there and show people what you actually have to offer?
No, I agree with you, but I also think that there could be something systemically wrong with the game if, regardless, because I think Claire might be the only person since they stopped doing tribe swaps that has sat out 3 challenges in a row. I don't think, and then
sitting out 3 challenges in a row just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yes,
None.
I'm agreeing with you guys.
I honestly can't even find a way to justify that.
No, I can't. But Hannah, also, you did say with the tribe, you did say with the new tribe and how it is. I just think point blank and period. If you don't play in the competition, and we're talking about, this is the 3rd time. You had about 3 times. Yes, 3 times. I'm sorry. If I'm sitting here trying to target people and keep the heat off of my back or your back, Hannah, or Tiffany's back, then I'm shooting that shot to that person who has not done nothing the whole entire time. I don't care how they are social wise. Even if it was a guy, it should be I feel like it, which I hope be the same. It would be the same way. I hope it's not just because she's a female.
No,
I hope it's because,
I think it would be the same. I feel terrible sending home somebody who actually had gotten out there, gotten dirty, gotten scarred up, gotten wet, had their heart rating, being scared. I'd actually feel bad sending home somebody who actually tried to help us than sending home somebody and keeping somebody who didn't.
No, and
it's just
I'm agreeing with you guys, but maybe I'm miscommunicating my point. My point is that, and maybe Claire's situation isn't really part of this because she did sit out 3 challenges in a row. But when you take Claire out of the equation, I just found the statistic to be alarming because no other woman has sat out 3 challenges in a row, even 2 challenges in a row, to my knowledge, in this new era since they stopped doing tribe swaps. And even still, the first person voted out of 90% of Survivor's New Era tribes has been a woman. So I think maybe they need to bring back tribe swaps. Not saying that that would have impacted Claire's game differently, because at the end of the day, Claire did sit out 3 weeks in a row. And at that point, you just have no currency to offer your tribe, period. But I think that's something that the game could look at structurally.
Okay, I get that. I get that.
She's one of my sisters. She's my CBS sister. Oh, sorry. I love Claire to death. As a gamer, it's hard for me to look at her strategy and understand it.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, yeah. And Hannah, I do want to say, yes, with the new, how the tribe swap and how it used to be, I can understand how that might play into key also. But, like I said, of course, I hate seeing, I hate seeing another, woman go out in the game. Like, nobody ever wants that. It's now 3 in a row. It's kind of given the, repetitive of what happened last season. But I think if Claire did at least play and won, those shots could have definitely went towards that showmance, because usually people take shots at showmance at first. That's just what it is.
Because I'm also looking at, if it's my tribe, I'm also looking at, hey, we've got a little performance experience. That performance experience matters. If you go back to our game, maybe we were nervous in our first couple of competitions, but even I look at Alyssa Lopez, she competed in almost every veto comp. By the time she got to the end, she was so comfortable in competing that it didn't matter what she competed in. She was always coming close because she had that experience. So if I'm on the Soka tribe and I'm like, all right, next time we got to compete, I know how these people compete. We've gelled, we've played, we've gotten out there, we've got our communication. I know where your strengths and weaknesses are. I'm almost scared for her to go, because I'm like, now what you good at? Because we don't know yet, but we've all done stuff. And here it is. You don't even have performance experience. You might get out there and get nervous and freeze up. And it honestly, it was giving scared. So I would, at that point, want to cut I'd want to cut the person who I'm not that confident in.
Yeah.
Right. And I get that. Now, what do we think about the other tribes? How do we feel about how they're doing?
So I just want to comment on Danny and Matt, 2 totally separate tribes that have played this I'm going to hide a fake immunity idol. I'm going to hide a fake idol somewhere. Let somebody find it. My son happened to be watching this episode with me, and he really just was liking Matthew. Even though Danny did the same thing, he was like, I hope Matthew wins. I was like, oh, wow. I mean, it was really some game today. He's walking around with his arm in a sling, walking through looking for worms. First of all, I actually had to Google, can you eat an earthworm? And come to find out they're high in mineral
and protein.
You did eat a worm. You forgot you ate one?
What?
I ain't eating no worm.
So wait. This is the funny part. If you remember when we went to Hearts and the girl was going around with worms and we all had...
What? What are you talking about?
Hannah, you
put my
ate
business one out here on the World Wide Web. I don't remember eating no worm.
There was a lovely fan who came at Hearts when we first went our first year. And she had worms, like, dead worms, and she gave it to, like, each of us to, like, eat. Hannah, you ate one, too.
What are you talking about?
Okay. You need to stay off that shit.
No, I'm serious, but that's why if you guys want to sit there and deny it, that is fine. Next episode, I am bringing a lie detector test, because these two are definitely liars, but that's okay. I would let you guys keep
it's giving more than okay.
It's not giving delusional. And if I have to message the BB23 group chat and ask them, did we eat worms the first season we went to, the first time we went to Hearts and Reality, I bet you half of them would say yes, we did.
I was late to the signing, so I wasn't even offered one.
Hannah, you were sitting next to me with your little ass.
Next to Sarah, Beth, and Xavier. What reality are you living in?
Back to Survivor.
Back to Survivor.
So they're eating worms. Matthew and Hannah, do you remember her name?
Oh, Jamie.
Which one?
Jamie. They're looking for worms, and he tells her, like, that looks like some mud down there. Maybe there's some worms. She finds an idol, and I was like, oh, look at her found this idol. That was amazing. And then it goes and plays back how he went and hid this idol down there, made one, found, like,
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was so genius. I loved how he got the beads from somewhere else, pulled some thread off of a ribbon, strung together these beads in an idol, folded it up so perfectly, tucked it, hid it, and walked her over to it. And she found it, and she was so excited. And she said, and if I need to, I can play this immunity idol. I said, girl,
play
ain't no
immunity
idol.
Let me tell you, this whole fake.
Oh, no.
Go ahead, Hannah.
You and I were probably going to say the same thing, so go ahead.
No, Hannah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
fine.
You go ahead.
Fine.
Hannah.
I was just going to say, I don't know how I feel about fake immunity idols being in the game, because the whole point is for players to play each other, not for the game to play you. This isn't Big Brother season 23. So with that being said, I'm not super supportive of the fake idols, because
it's very scary.
In future seasons.
It's very scary because you don't know if you have an idol
or
not.
In future seasons, so starting 45. Yeah, starting 45, they're going to be like, wait, is this fake? Is this real? How do I know? There's no way for me to verify this. Therefore, like, I can't even be confident going into a tribal, because what if this is void?
I think it's out of control, Hannah. I agree with that. I don't think it's fair, because you're right. There's no way to tell if it's real or fake. I'm over it. I think at first it was cute. Like, I know we did it in a couple of seasons in the past. Cool, whatever. Now it's out of control, because now it's like, how do I play the game without, like, if I found an idol, it should be a real idol. Like, I shouldn't have to sit here worrying about the fake idol. Like, I'm kind of over it. Like, it's dead.
In that cage, when they opened up that bag in that cage, it said, and here's a silver coin that means absolutely nothing. Do with it what you will. So it kind of introduced them to the thought of, I can use this as a fake idol.
Well, but that was only one tribe that's in possession of that information. Soka doesn't know that, because Danny found that by himself. Carolyn's tribe, Tika, doesn't know that, because Carolyn found that by herself. So once they get to merge, then the people on Ratu tribe might be like, oh yeah, by the way, there's like a fake idol in play on both of your islands. But up until then, I just think it takes away from the game, because at that point, production's playing you instead of, the players playing each other. Yeah. So those are my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. I would see, that's when I would go out cursing everybody out, and Jeff himself, because I'll be pissed. Because it's the fact that if I come in this game, I want to play against them. If I find this idol, it should be a damn idol. It should not be a fake idol and all this other stuff. It's too much. If they find an idol, let them play on an idol. It's too much. I get it. The dramatics, then that's when the production starts getting involved. Like you said, like, it feels like production's trying to give that dramatic effect, because I'm going to go up there and give the idol, and then it's going to be like, Jeff's going to go, just to let you know, this is a fake idol. Everyone at home, and it's like, okay, well, how many fucking fake idols we're going to make? You get a fake idol, you get a fake idol, you get a fake idol, you get a real idol. Okay, cool, great. Love that.
Yeah.
I want to know what Jeff feels about Claire sitting out.
I don't think.
Oh, he mentioned it 1,000 times.
Very happy. From what I know about Jeff Probst, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Probst.
It seems like he
Probst. Is it Post?
But it
Probst.
We'll tell you later. Let Hannah get her thought out.
Oh,
okay. So it seems like Jeff favors players who are competitors and who are strong physically and have like brute strength to contribute to their tribes. So I just found it interesting how every time even before Claire would make the decision to sit out, he'd be like, Claire, are you going to sit out again? And she'd be like, yeah. And he'd be like, why? So, yeah.
Well, yeah, he's like, and then was that your decision, or was that, he's like, okay.
Yeah, he was kind of warning her. So it, like, even when Claire fleshed out the torch, usually I feel like he looks at them and goes like, I'm so sorry to see you go. Like, that sucks for you. He was very much like, okay, bye. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost like, because, and I'm being objective here. It's almost like you didn't come to play, because you're like, if I'm a host, I want to see you fighting to play. Like, I'm going, what do you mean I'm sitting down? If I am sitting out, it's like they made me sit out. I'm almost not even happy to sit out. Like, yeah, Jeff, I'm sitting out. Ask them why I'm sitting out.
Yeah.
Then it's not on me. You know?
I agree with you. All
right.
Just think about it. We always want to play in the veto comp. So, you know.
Yeah, I'd be mad
just what
when
it
I
is.
wouldn't pick for that veto
comp. Of course. Or, you know, just, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, like I said, we love Claire. Love her. She knows that. And as a person, but as a player.
She could have done things differently. And Tiff has no problem saying that. Big D. Yes. I even have no problem saying that. I'm just trying to be a little empathetic here and maybe think about things that the edit didn't give us. And like why certain decisions were made that we might be missing as viewers. So that's where I'm coming from.
Did you just gain this empathetic out of any?
Well, if you were actually friends with me, Big D, outside
of
this
where was my empathetic when I needed it, huh? Where was it?
I'm sorry.
Where was it, Hannah?
What empathy?
Where was it?
Sitting on $75,000.
I needed empathy too. No, when you sat there and you said that, just like you just said earlier, thinking I'm not going to step on your neck, I contribute to that motherfucking cookout, okay? No, where was my empathetic?
What contributions did you make?
I made plenty of it. I cooked, I cleaned, and I made sure I to drop all the things I need to do and manipulated and lied and played in those games and made sure that 5 and 6 was out before me. Now, on to the next topic.
No one's saying you didn't. But when you said, oh yeah, I think looking at the cookout, if you weren't doing anything, then you were going to be the first to go. And then you guys kicked out the creator of the master plan first. The math isn't mathing.
And her mastermind.
Oh, the person that put the cookout together had to stay.
Okay,
so I don't know
what about
go take that to Kylie.
God put the cookout together.
God did not put the cookout together. God put the plan in my head and executed it. And anyway, I will say this. I'm very thankful that things worked out the way it did. And I love you guys no matter what. And you could tell me to the day I die that I didn't do shit and I didn't start the cookout. And guess what?
We didn't say none of those words.
I will stay delusional and make money off the word delusional. Now, in other news, guess who else is delusional? Kellyanne for the challenge. That too. Okay, but let's talk about the challenge, guys. Okay. Have you guys caught up on the challenge, or how do you feel about it, Tiffany? What's your thoughts?
All right, you know my brain is all over the place. You got to bring me back to the show. I need to rewind. What happened? Kellyanne.
I can tell you.
My goodness. Kellyanne got thrown in. Okay, Nelson, come out there. Hold on. Nelson say, "I got it. If I pull my hair up, that means I want Kellyanne. If I leave it down, then that means I want the other team." Nelson got out there. He looked at that comp. He said,
I don't really understand his thought process. It really doesn't make sense to me. And it's very dramatic. It's like, let me show you. Put my hair up.
Here's what we can't ever do. It's very hard to assess another person's strengths and weaknesses just based off of a competition. You never know how someone will pull through. Strength is very relative. You can't just say, oh, I'm sure I got you in this comp. I remember watching Ride or Dies and seeing Jordan and Chauncey when they had to pull each other in that elimination. And just based off looking at it, I would have said, Chauncey's got this. He's bigger. He seems stronger. He seems more fit. I know Jordan is athletic. He's smart, but it's based on strength. It seemed like Chauncey had it. Jordan went in there with his thinking cap on and created a whole strategy and won that. So you can't just go in and look at somebody and say, oh, I can beat you in this because I'm stronger or whatever. Nelson got his ass handed to him on a plate.
On a plate.
Yeah. But also, like, Nelson and Kellyanne have done several seasons together. And at that point, you probably do have a better idea of what people are good at and what people aren't so good at. Kellyanne's small. She's a little spider monkey. Her assets are her flexibility and just being like nimble and agile. So why in the world would you look at a little trapeze comp and go,
because he thought he was stronger. He thought he was stronger than old boy.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Tiff. When guys don't
he
think,
thought he was smarter too, because his strategy was, why were you watching what they were doing?
Let me tell you something. I sat there and I was really upset because I watched it at 2:00 in the morning and I lost sleep to watch this episode. And I was mad that I watched Nelson I don't even know. But let me first say this. Everyone, please take the time to pray for Nelson. He was recently in a car accident. And please send him, he does have a GoFundMe page. Hospital bills are very expensive.
Instagram account.
Yes, because when we're not on these competition shows, we are not covered by their health insurance. So please, send that money if you can, and just send them some love and prayers. Now, back to the episode. 2:00 in the morning, I was very annoyed watching Nelson try to figure out momentum, which really made me upset because I'm looking at him. It is so simple. It just blew my mind. And then, yes, Tiff, as you say, us guys, we always think, like with we're always thinking with these muscles, thinking, oh, I could beat him. I'm stronger than him. He looking at this comp thinking it's going to be balls dropping and they're going to wrestle for him. No, that's not going to work, baby. That's not how it's going to work. Sometimes you got to actually use your mind. And I just hate how dramatic he's going up to it and saying, like, it's just, I hated it. And let me tell you something.
The comp was, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just want to say this. Kellyanne lived for the drama. Janae, yikes. Big yikes on this. This was an epic fail on her part. I will say that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if this is going to work out for her because now she got a crazy friend coming back who don't care anything. And when you get, let me tell you something, when you get a white woman crazy, it's a whole nother level, okay? So I feel really bad.
Yeah. So in this episode, Janae allows for the decision to let her friend Kellyanne go into the elimination, even though she told Kellyanne that they were going to work together, and Kellyanne was expecting to not go in. Janae's partner, what was his name? Grant. Was the one who said it's going to be Kellyanne, and Kellyanne's looking like, oh my God, Janae is not even, she's just standing up there smirking at me like this was planned. It didn't look good. It didn't look good as a friend. So then the guys decide that they're going to be the ones swinging their partners on this platform to go out and catch these discs, and Kellyanne is like being flung by her partner, grabbing the discs. One happens to fall, and Nelson does wrestle with Kellyanne's partner to get the disc, so he's got one, but she swings. So essentially, she got 9, and Nelson and his partner got none because he was stopping the momentum. And I'm confused because everybody on the stage is screaming, "Stop stopping her! Don't stop her! Let her keep swinging!" And I don't know why he didn't just keep pushing her while she was coming. I don't understand the logic of it, but strength doesn't mean anything if you can't logically put some thought behind how you're going to actually use your strength.
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree. I think that he should have listened to the team, aka the people up above, and he wasn't listening. And I don't know. I would say this. I have watched a lot of eliminations, and it was just,
that wasn't an easy one to watch. It was very hard to watch.
It was very hard to watch. And, coming off of the season he just had on Ride or Dies, and then to come on here and then do that, I just felt bad, yeah. And I just hope that, he learns from that and understands, just don't think with your all of this. Yeah. You got to think with your mind.
It was hard for me. I did not know who I want. Honestly, I was confused about who I wanted to win because I felt like Kellyanne, I wanted some redemption for her for being thrown in. I'm an underdog. I like to go for the underdog story. Like, oh, okay, I got thrown in. Well, it wouldn't be crazy if she just came back in. But then I also know Nelson personally. And then my heart goes out to him with seeing his accident. So I was going for him okay, it's Nelson. We want Nelson to get through and see if he's going to get his win. So I'm like, come on, Nelson. So I'm watching it totally conflicted on like, oh, I don't know how I feel right now about what's happening here.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I was personally pulling for Nelson just because we do know him on a personal level. But I was also like, if Kellyanne wins, she's definitely going to come back in that house and wreak havoc. Like, we saw how unhinged she was being even before she got thrown in. She was freaking out even before her name was being tossed around as a possibility. So I can't wait to watch her unravel, but just... I don't understand where Janae was coming from. Maybe Janae felt like, okay, if I do Nelson this favor, then Nelson's going to have my back moving forward. And
I don't think that was it.
Well, that could have been part of it. And maybe she was thinking, like, Kellyanne is a liability to my game, so I need her to leave. But why do you have to be the one to get rid of her? I definitely agree with that part.
I definitely think that she felt Kellyanne was a liability to her game. Even though they're friends in the real world, in the game, I think she felt that it was a liability. So if she goes, it's not hurting her. But
it was.
I do people agree got with into you, her. Like, why do you have to be the one to get her out, though? Like,
true, because somebody else could have got her out, and I think also Janae let all the other house guests get in her way because they were all saying how unpredictable Kellyanne is. But I'm agreeing with Hannah. Like, when I watch these shows, I'm here for the drama. So send her ass right back in the house and cause havoc. And what the hell did she do? She walked into that bedroom and she was like, I want to know why you did what you did. And Janae tried to come up with some like...
cool at first. I was expecting Kellyanne to go in with the fire, but she just went in and put her bags down and was just like, like that was weird. And then Janae kind of tried to blow it off.
Gaslight her. I think she tried to gaslight her, and it didn't work when you should just told the truth.
Like, now, wait a minute. What you're not going to do is play with me. Like, that did not just happen. Oh, because she says, I thought you promised me that you weren't going to put me in. Like, you gave me your word. She was like, yeah. And then you went and told everybody. And Kellyanne was like, and I didn't tell anybody. Janae was like, you did. Now, I don't understand what her telling people had to do with her going
so back then she was trying to play it up. Like, so she had an excuse to feel like I couldn't trust you. So that's why I threw you in. She was trying to cover her ass, which nobody told her that. But that's why I said that line didn't work. And especially with someone that, especially when it's your friend.
Didn't say anything.
Yeah.
It's like, if I didn't say anything, you can't say that I said something. Now I'm really mad.
Right. Now she's mad, but she's also your friend. So you know your friend if they're lying to you. And unfortunately, Janae can't lie to Kellyanne. She could probably lie to everybody else, but she couldn't lie to her. So that's why I was like, please don't gaslight her. And when she gaslight her, she popped the hell off. And I was like, can't wait for next episode.
As she should, because Kellyanne does not strike me as a liar. She keeps saying she's honest to a fault. I think she's someone who wears her heart and her emotions on her sleeve. So if Kellyanne's saying I didn't tell a soul, then she probably did not tell a soul, and Johnny is just fishing for excuses. But I thought it was interesting how Amber was like, wait, so if Janae can do that to her real life closest friend from the challenge, she can absolutely do that to me and anyone else from the Australia team.
That's that big brother brain that just kicked in with Amber.
Exactly. And you need people to, as I guess fickle as the challenge is, as transactional as it is, you still need people to get to the end because it's not as me, myself, and I as Big Brother and Survivor are. So if you're proving that your word quite literally means nothing to a longtime friend of yours who you've been playing with longer than I've been alive, I'm really not going to try to work with you. Like, that sends a clear, or that should send a clear message to everyone else. So not a good move.
And I will say this, Kellyanne is playing a game that I really do enjoy. And I like a game where you're a pet bull, where she's making it clear, like, when she sat at that table and looked at everybody and said it as blunt as she could, when she said, so yeah, I'm not trying to have the Sean people make it to the end. Like, I just love that she's just speaking her mind. And, you know, some people say speaking your mind gets you in trouble. I don't know. I like a game like that because that's the type of game I enjoy playing myself, speaking my mind. And I enjoy people that just say how it is and not care about what anybody else thinks. Tiff, you have anything else for the challenge?
No.
Okay. Oh, listen, I think next week is going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what Kellyanne does next. And, we're just still rooting for our girl, Justine. She looks like she's in a good position. I love the Argentina team. They're giving me everything. They're such a vibe. They just don't even care. They're just like, I'm just here to have fun and live.
Him a crush every season, every show he go on.
Yeah. I know. Maybe one day it'll be me. Oh, such a daddy.
You got to be a brunette.
I'll dye my hair. I have a brunette wig. I'll put it on next episode for you guys.
Oh, dear. I was just going to say Argentina lost Jujuy. And I liked her. She was so cute. So now they're down 2. And they just have Benja and Rodrigo, I think, is the second one.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I feel like they're just going to keep getting picked off.
Yeah. That's how the game goes. Yeah. Unless somebody wins and shakes it up on that team, that's the only way. So, I don't know.
Well, they're who I'm rooting for. Them and Team US.
All right. Oh, listen, everyone, another episode of Royalty. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Please, we love all your comments. Remember, share with your friends. That's the only way we're going to get out there and keep doing what we're doing. So, Hannah, Tiffany, I love you both. Thank you so much.
Love you.
Love you, Big
for tuning in.
Love you,
Thank
Tiff.
you all for tuning in. Love you too.
Yes.